Hello everybody, it's Tommy and welcome back to another Creative Sim for the Disney Save. Today we are going to be starting on the one and only Queen Elsa, and I know so many of you are very excited that she is finally going to be a part of the save. She's coming out a little bit earlier than the actual castle. I am finishing up today's video to go and start Arendelle Castle, and I will actually be live tomorrow building and working on it a little bit. It's going to take me some time to get out, so I figured it was good to just jump ahead and maybe do Anna and Elsa before their castle. But without further ado, let's get into Queen Elsa. So Elsa's name is Elsa Oldenburg. We decided to go obviously with the same last name as Anna. She has the spellcraft and sorcery aspiration, and you will notice as a little tiny mistake that I've made in today's video, I did accidentally make Elsa not a spellcaster. So don't worry, I noticed. I definitely will be changing it and fixing it. I'll move all of her files over so she can be converted into a spellcaster, fear not. But I did notice, just so that you guys know. Her traits are loner, perfectionist, and creative. And she will also have a special reward trait called Ice Proof, which basically makes it so that she does not often get cold. She is a spellcaster. Currently, we have been sort of talking about what we would do as far as pets go, because she does have a few animal and pet companions. The one that I think being the most obvious to me personally is the Nook, which is the water horse that she gets in Frozen 2. And it's one of those things where if we get horse related pack, of course I will add something, I will figure something out, but until that point it's sort of just something that's on the back burner but is being considered. Another thing that a lot of you had talked about in the previous video where I talked about Anna in regards to the job and how I was not interested in making all of my Royal Sims politicians for obvious reasons. A lot of you were like, why don't you just register them with the Ministry of Labor and then have them under certain categories like maybe royal or whatnot. And I want to make it clear that I didn't say this, but that's definitely the intention. One of the ways that I keep Sims from getting accidentally grouped into becoming like your random waitress or getting weird odd end jobs and you wouldn't want to see like certain characters at certain parts of the save file is by giving everybody some kind of a job. So nobody is truly unemployed. Everybody that doesn't have one of the playable jobs in the game receives at least a registration with the Ministry of Labor so that you do not accidentally have them popping up in weird places. And I think it would be an interesting idea to possibly register all of my more royal Sims as just royalty and doing it that way. So I did like that idea, but I wanted to make it clear that that was also something that is planned. Born with rare magic powers of snow and ice, Queen Elsa is the ruler of Arendelle. Elsa has struggled her entire life with feelings of being alone, learning how to control her magic, and protecting her loved ones from herself. Elsa does not open up very easily, even to family, and tends to keep anything that would worry others to herself. She struggles heavily with fear of her powers and self-doubt in her ability to control them. Though she once told no one of her magic, it is now widely known and accepted in the kingdom of Arendelle. Outside of her magic, Elsa loves her sister more than anything in the world. She strives to be a great leader so she can make her sister proud and live up to her role. Elsa tends to be a bit of a perfectionist in every single thing that she does, from her clothes to her relationships. She will also likely be a part of the Disney Queens collection, which is currently only really Anna and Elsa, but I have a feeling at some point we may get some later on. And she will live at Arendelle Castle. So what I decided to do was kind of put her at the end of the first Frozen story. So she has her powers, her sister knows about her powers, they're all sort of living at Arendelle Castle. She hasn't like gone through the process of Frozen 2 yet, so I think that's a good place for her. And obviously you can always take a character and move them to whatever place in the storyline that you wanted them to be at, and I have all of the things available like Elsa's castle, so you would be able to go through and do the original storyline if you choose. But when I do like character backstories and maybe any type of minimal prepping, so as far as like what level type of spellcaster would Elsa be or what type of relationships does she have, I might have to put in reference like where in their story are they to give them more stats or more things or more items. So that's just kind of the context of where I've decided to place her, and you are always open to change it. Something else that was brought up a lot and that I definitely agree agree with. There is a really cool fan theory that Honeymaren and Elsa could potentially have or have had a relationship. And I really, really love that idea. So I probably will implement a little bit of a relationship between Elsa and Honeymaren. I also have already created Honeymaren and her brother Ryder, and that will be a YouTube video a little bit later down the line. It was something that I did sort of on a whim on stream one day when I wasn't quite ready to move on to the next part of the save. So they are already in the works, and I am also planning a replacement lot for the Arendelle Village lot that would be Northuldra related, so that you could carry out the storyline of Frozen 2 if you would like to. So stay tuned for that stuff later on if Frozen 2 is really your gig. I'm sort of mixing the ideas of Frozen 1 and 2 together. Normally I don't have to focus so much on sequel movies, especially for Disney princesses in general. You really don't have to focus on the storylines of what happens afterwards, and it's a lot easier. But for Frozen, there's just so much content. There's so many outfits, there's so many things that happen and things that you could add or not add. So it's a little bit of a mix here. There's already some Frozen 2 things in some of the outfits that I've chosen for the characters and some of the things that I'll be implementing in the save. So we've got a little bit of both here. Elsa can be very creative when left to her own devices. She can create beautiful dresses and castles made of ice and snow with her magic alone. She loves to sing, dance, host parties, read, and learn about history. Elsa and Anna share a love of horseback riding, game nights, and chocolate. And like my other Disney princesses, or queens in this case, all Disney princesses in the save have a 5-star celebrity rating with a pristine reputation. I have done that across the board, and I will probably continue to do so. So a couple of things I want to note about Elsa's appearance. One thing that has been driving me absolutely mad when it comes to making Sims recently is that the sliders for blush are currently broken because of the last patch. You can't change the opacity of them at all, and as soon as I added the blush to Elsa in this Create a Sim video, it drastically was a little too much. It changed the way that her face looked quite a bit, and I wasn't very happy with it, but I wanted to represent the idea that she would eventually have a little bit more pink and variation to her skin tone with some blush as soon as I'm able to turn it down and get it at the level that I feel like would be a little bit more flattering for her. So don't worry if you feel like it's a lot on the makeup. I definitely agree, but it is something that I can't really do anything about until they do an update to fix the broken patches of the game. Now for the outfits, like I said, we had a lot to work with. She wears so many outfits in the first movie and in the second movie. Obviously blue is her color. Anything that is a little bit transparent and has snowflake patterns is going to work for her. But when it comes to picking out what Disney princesses specifically are going to wear as everyday clothing, I personally have a really hard time putting them all in ball gowns to walk around in like their classic dresses. You probably would recognize most of the Disney princesses from their royal dresses or their ball gowns, and I personally just don't really like the idea of the princesses walking around in everyday wear looking like that. Even though this is a Disney save file, I feel like it's going to be a little bit jarring. So for all of the princesses so far, which has been Anna and Elsa and Tiana, their everyday outfit is either a version of a different dress that they wear in their movie, or if you're lucky enough, you actually get like a casual looking look for the characters. Now, Anna and Elsa have a few casual looks. Specifically, Elsa has more from the second movie. She wears a lot of formal wear in the first movie, so her everyday wear is inspired by her more polished blue look from Frozen 2, and I've provided a couple of variations for the outfits because, as is typical with Twitch chat, we can almost never completely agree on what is the best choice. There was a lot more choice for Elsa than there was for Anna, so it ended up working out, and I'm actually really happy with the look that we went with for her. It's a little bit modern, but it's one of those things that kind of can't be helped because of the packs that we have. And then the other big things that I obviously wanted to make sure is doing something for her Let It Go dress, and there is something in game that is very, very close to what she has in the movie. I would be so surprised if the Sims team wasn't inspired by Elsa's dress when they created it for like a holiday patch. It's like a slightly off the shoulder blue meshy dress with a little bit of snowflake pattern on the top of it. It's not perfect. It doesn't have that like body hugging and slit up the thigh look to it that would have been a lot better, but it'll do as far as vanilla version of the game. And she will have so many more outfits. These were just a couple that I wanted to include so that you could see kind of where we're going, but she obviously has some green dresses, some purple, some more outfits from Frozen 2 that she wears, and I plan to include quite a bit for her and Anna, which will be something to look forward to a little bit in the saves. So that is the end of today's video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed Elsa. Let me know what you thought of her in the comment section down below. Don't forget to follow me over on Twitch. I go live 3 times a week for The Sims and once on Friday for a Variety Friday. If you would like to support the Disney Save on Patreon, you can do so by clicking the link in my description box down below or the one at the end of the video. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Hit that little bell icon below to turn on post notifications so you can get updated every single time I post, and I will talk to you all in the next one.